Today we unpack why chicken parts like neck and skin may pose health risks over time. We'll look at bacterial contamination in processing, high omega-6 levels in skin, and the rise of antibiotic-resistant bacteria, plus how cross-contamination can spread beyond the chicken itself. We'll also examine potential links to inflammation, cardiovascular risks, and cancer studies, and how cooking methods shape the outcomes. Finally, we review industry responses and practical, safer alternatives and cooking approaches. 1. Bacterial contamination runs deep in chicken processing. When you think about chicken safety, your mind probably goes to undercooked meat and salmonella. But researchers are discovering that specific parts of the chicken, especially the neck and skin, harbor significantly more dangerous bacteria than other cuts. Similar results were observed by bacterial enumeration performed on neck skin, showing how contamination levels fluctuate throughout the processing chain. A selection of 3 isolates from chicken neck samples with the highest levels of contamination was examined to confirm the genus and species. The level of contamination with Campylobacter spp is very high in chicken and chicken liver samples in the UK. Our results indicate that 44% of chicken neck samples and 52% of chicken liver samples are still at that highest level. The neck area becomes particularly problematic because of where it sits in the bird's anatomy. During processing, this area gets exposed to more contaminants from the intestinal tract and surrounding areas. Think of it like trying to clean a bottle. The narrow neck is always the hardest part to get completely clean. 2. CDC reports massive scale of contaminated poultry impact. CDC estimates that salmonella alone causes about 1.35 million infections annually from all food sources, with poultry being a significant contributor. That's not just a small-scale problem. We're talking about more people than the entire population of San Francisco getting sick annually from chicken alone. When cooked, chicken can be a nutritious choice, but raw chicken can be contaminated with Campylobacter, Salmonella, or Clostridium perfringens germs. If you eat undercooked chicken, you can get a foodborne illness, also called food poisoning. The skin and neck areas create perfect hiding spots for these pathogens to multiply and survive. Though 48 million people fall sick every year from eating food tainted with Salmonella, Campylobacter, E. coli, and other contaminants, more deaths were attributed to poultry than to any other commodity, according to CDC outbreak analysis. This stark reality should make anyone think twice about their chicken preparation habits. 3. Skin contains shocking omega-6 levels that fuel inflammation. And here's something that might surprise you. Chicken skin contains more omega-6 than other meats, which can increase the risk of inflammation in the body. Most people think of chicken as the healthy meat option, but the skin tells a different story entirely. An omega-6 to omega-3 ratio that is too high may contribute to excess inflammation in the body, potentially raising the risk of various diseases. An omega-6 to omega-3 ratio that is too high may contribute to excess inflammation in the body, potentially raising the risk of various diseases. Modern Western diets already provide ratios of roughly 16 to 1 omega-6 to omega-3, when the optimal ratio should be closer to 1 to 1. When chickens are fed corn, a critical part of their diet, the meat becomes high in omega-6 linoleic acid because the corn the chickens are eating is really high in this type of fat. So, when we are eating a lot of chicken, we are actually eating a lot of omega-6s. The skin concentrates these problematic fatty acids even more than the muscle meat. 4. High blood pressure patients face particular risk. Certain foods in the diet of people with high blood pressure can increase the risk of the condition, including chicken skin and other animal skins. Therefore, experts recommend avoiding foods with skin. People with high blood pressure should limit their intake of chicken skin. The combination of high sodium content typically found in processed chicken skin, along with the inflammatory omega-6 fatty acids, creates a perfect storm for cardiovascular issues. Your blood pressure medication can't compete with consistently poor dietary choices over time. If you're already dealing with hypertension, that crispy chicken skin you love might be working directly against your blood pressure management efforts. It's like trying to put out a fire while someone else keeps pouring gasoline on it. 5. Antibiotic-resistant bacteria lurk in popular chicken parts. more than half of the samples contained fecal contaminants. And about half of them harbored at least one bacterium that was resistant to 3 or more commonly prescribed antibiotics. Consumer Reports testing revealed disturbing patterns in chicken contamination. They end up with Campylobacter, Salmonella, and Enterococcus that are resistant to antibiotics. Those bacteria can spread to people, whose infections then can't be treated successfully with antibiotics. When you get sick from these superbugs, your regular antibiotics become useless. The neck and skin areas provide ideal environments for these resistant bacteria to thrive because they're harder to clean during processing and contain more crevices where pathogens can hide. It's like trying to disinfect a sponge versus a smooth surface. The bacteria always find places to survive. 6. Cross-contamination spreads beyond the chicken itself. These harmful bacteria can also spread to foods that people typically eat raw, such as fruit and salad. This transmission can occur if people prepare other foods using the same chopping board and utensils that they used to prepare the chicken. According to a USDA study, 1 in 7 people who cleaned their sink after washing chicken still had germs in the sink. Even when people think they're being careful, the contamination spreads to places you wouldn't expect. The juices from chicken neck and skin areas tend to be more contaminated than other parts, making cross-contamination more likely and more severe. One study found that grocery stores see contamination incidents when raw chicken packages leak onto other foods, affecting everything from produce to ready-to-eat items. 7. Processing plants create perfect bacterial breeding grounds. Indeed, this contaminating flora originates mainly from the animal's skins, from the carcasses handled, and from direct contact with dirty work areas during slaughtering operations. The presence of bacteria in meat processing equipment and associated surfaces may also contribute to meat contamination at the markets. The modern poultry processing system handles thousands of birds per hour, creating conditions where bacteria can spread rapidly from one carcass to another. The neck and skin areas get the most exposure during the automated plucking and cleaning processes. The contamination level of carcasses decreased after evisceration and chilling by immersion in cold water and increased again during storage at refrigerated temperature. This shows the washing effect at different steps, as well as the subsequent bacterial development that can occur during the storage period. Even after initial cleaning attempts, bacteria continue multiplying during storage. 8. Recent studies link chicken consumption to cancer risks. Consuming more than 300 grams of poultry per week may lead to an increase in all-cause deaths and cancers, according to a new study. A surprising new study of people in southern Italy suggests that consuming excess poultry, widely considered a healthier animal protein source, may be associated with all-cause mortality and gastrointestinal cancers. This Italian research caught many nutrition experts off guard because chicken has long been promoted as the healthier alternative to red meat. I think the findings are quite astonishing given that we have a lot of evidence that the Mediterranean diet in particular is healthy and reduces the risk of getting cardiovascular disease and cancers, said one surgical oncologist. While more research is needed to confirm these findings, the study suggests that the parts of the chicken we consume including skin and organs might play a significant role in these health outcomes. 9. Mental health connections to omega-6 overconsumption. In a recent study, linked here, of over 3,000 adults found that a higher intake of these omega-6 fatty acids may be linked to higher odds of depression and psychological distress, particularly in older adults. This supports existing research that an unbalanced omega-6 and omega-3 ratio is thought to contribute to inflammation, which in turn is thought to drive inflammation within the brain and worsen psychiatric symptoms. The connection between what we eat and how we feel mentally is becoming clearer through research. Omega-6 fatty acids at high levels are associated with an increased prevalence of severe conditions, such as depression and heart disease. Omega-6 fatty acids at high levels are associated with an increased prevalence of severe conditions, such as depression and heart disease. When you regularly consume chicken skin and other high omega-6 parts, you're potentially feeding into a cycle that affects not just your physical health, but your mental well-being too. It's like putting the wrong fuel in your car's engine. Things might run for a while, but eventually, problems start showing up. 10. Cooking methods don't eliminate all risks. Use a food thermometer to make sure chicken is cooked to a safe internal temperature of 165 degrees Fahrenheit. While proper cooking kills most bacteria, it doesn't address the inflammatory fatty acid profile or eliminate all potential health concerns. High-heat cooking methods like frying and grilling can increase the formation of ages, which can contribute to inflammation. Baking, boiling, steaming, or slow cooking methods are generally considered healthier options. The skin, when cooked at high heat, becomes particularly problematic. Even perfectly cooked chicken skin still contains the same inflammatory omega-6 fatty acids that cause long-term health problems. Cooking eliminates immediate food poisoning risks but doesn't fix the underlying nutritional issues that build up in your body over months and years of regular consumption. 11. Industry response falls short of consumer protection. FSA reported a 27% prevalence in the highest category, greater than 1,000 CFU per gram, and had set a target to reduce it to 10% by December 2015. Despite regulatory efforts, contamination levels remain dangerously high in many chicken products. The National Chicken Council says that there are several published, peer-reviewed risk assessments showing that any threat to human health from antibiotic use in livestock and poultry production is negligible, if it exists at all. Industry groups continue to downplay risks while independent research paints a different picture. The disconnect between industry claims and independent research findings means consumers can't rely on industry messaging when making health decisions. It's like asking a tobacco company about the safety of cigarettes. You're unlikely to get the full story. 12. Alternative approaches reduce health risks. Pasture-raised chickens have more omega-3 because of the variety of diets like insects and grass. Confined chickens have a high content of omega-6 as a result of grain-based, processed feeds. Choosing pasture-raised options significantly improves the fatty acid profile. If you must eat chicken, removing the skin and avoiding the neck area reduces both bacterial contamination risks and inflammatory omega-6 exposure. If you want to decrease your omega-6 intake as much as possible, choose meats from the leaner parts of those animals. Consider this. If experts warn specifically about chicken skin and neck, maybe it's time to listen. Your health is too important to gamble on convenience foods that might be slowly working against your long-term well-being. Did you expect that the healthy meat option might actually pose these kinds of risks?